Welcome everyone, Madman bringing another RSL video. So today will be part 5 of 5 for Godseeker versus the Sand Devil. So, quick review. Part 1 was a partially booked Godseeker there. She had 2 books in her A3, which is a revival skill, making it a 5-turn cooldown. And you are able to use a Suicide Champion. Part 2 was a partially booked Godseeker. She had 1 book in her A3, making that revive on a 6-turn cooldown, and again, you can use a Suicide Champion. Part 3 was a fully booked Godseeker. You can use a Suicide Champion, but you have to manual it, or you can go full auto. Now, of those 3 parts, go back and watch if you want to. I recommend it if you, depending on how your Godseeker is, if you're trying to use this method, and you can literally go from a stage 25 build, starting at stage 21 to stage 25. There are a few caveats right there between stage 13, 14, or 15, where you're in a crossover where Godseeker lives versus now she gets killed by the boss's big hit, and you may have to use a beefier champion or modify your stats there to get through it. That is the caveat. It's not a perfect world there, but you know, it's a one and done thing and you move on. All right. Part 4 was a fully booked but only a 3/4 star Miracle Heal Godseeker. She can do stage 25. Did not run through 1 through 25, but you have to have Ninja. I tried 2 other DPSs. It failed. They don't kill the boss fast enough. So while it is viable, it is basically too many fail conditions to be worthwhile. Now, so real quick here, just go to recently used. So here's my 4-star Godseeker, 4-star Blessing. If you saw part 4, this is her build. Well, what are we going to do here? I've been saving this because I wanted to do this series of videos. So we're going to go ahead. 5-star Blessed Godseeker. Here we go. And there we go. She's now up to 5-star and there's no taking her back. So we're going to back out of this. We're going to go in here. What does that mean? Recently used. All right. Under her Miracle Heal now. Now we go from 75% chance to restore destroyed max HP when healing, equal to 15% of the heal at 3-star. Get a little HP at 4-star. Now we got a 100% chance, and it's up to 20% of the heal. Restores that much. And we gain some resistance and accuracy here, but we don't need that. So real quick, we will review her gear again real quick here. Immortal and regen. Her stats here, 85,000 HP, almost 4,900 defense, 181 speed. According to SAF and the others, is the bare minimum, and it does work. So I confirm that. Again, fully booked with a 5-star Miracle Heal, and then her masteries, of course. I went with some extra defense. I went with the 5% AoE reduction versus the 8% critical hit reduction. Plus, I was able to pick up the heal here, which you could still do either way. I went with Shadow Heal as well, because the boss is going to try and heal. You don't really need this. It shouldn't hurt one way or the other. It is a risk, but you know, the chances of her A1 taking away 25% of your max HP is probably impossible, but you know, never say never. So I'm gonna take that out because we want the decreased speed to land, and then reduce the damage there taken by enemies, stacking up to 6% there. The rest of it we don't really need. We don't want counterattack because that's actually going to slow down the run. Then we just went with the extra HP, the extra healing, the extra healing. We do need spirit haste. It's required. And then we just went ahead with the extra HP. You could take, what is it? Not oppressor. Timely intervention, but we don't really want to be filling our turn meter. So there you go. That is God Seeker. This is a suicide comp. So if your champ dies, the better. At least when you get to the upper stages. Now, what are our choices? Well, I can throw in Ninja, but I'm going to try not to use Ninja. Again, probably going to have to use Walking Tomb Drang here for those middle stages there while I'm manualing it. But, oops, we're going to go with a nice Selenia there. Again, other HP burns. The other caveat we found out is that 179 is the minimum speed for your DPS. So 186 here is fine. My Ninja at 180 was fine. But if you went and saw part 4, we literally took Drang from 173, and it wasn't until 179 that he finally actually got a turn before the boss while the boss was asleep. So there we go. Those are the builds there. And so let's just get into it. I'm going to have to sadly use some gems there because that's about the last of my energy here. So let's go and prove that we can go from stage 1 to stage 25. So we don't need any of this since we're going to have to manual these lower floors, unfortunately. And yes, I know it's a grind, and I will tell you this. Okay, where is Selenia here first? Where are you at? There you are, darling. It's a grind, and it literally takes me, of course, I'm recording and all that. It takes me about 4 hours to go from stage 1 through stage 25, but shouldn't be as bad for you. So, okay, she already screwed that up. So now we're just in turnaround phase here. But I'm going to go radio silent, and we will see you at the end of this run, which is hopefully not too long. There you go, stage 1. Hopefully there was never doubt. Moving on to stage 2. Alright, stage 2 complete. Moving on to stage 3. Okay, stage 3 complete. And moving on to stage 5 after I get an energy refill. Oops, stage 4 here after I get that energy refill. See you at the end. Okay, so stage 4 down, moving on to stage 5. Okay, stage 5 done, and moving on to stage 6 here. Stage 6 down, stage 7 up and running. And stage 7 is down, and we're moving on to stage 8. Alright, stage 8 done. Moving on to stage 9. Stage 9 is down, and we're moving on to 10. Alright, stage 10 is now complete, and moving right on along to stage 11. Okay, stage 11 is done, and now moving along to stage 12. Alright, stage 12 complete. Moving on to stage 13. Alright, stage 13 complete. Stage 14 up next. And there we go, stage 14 complete. Next up, stage 15. Alright, we failed there, so we hit that cross-hole threshover, so we're going to have to switch to walking tomb terrain. So let's edit the team there. Grab Mr. Drang. Come on. And start again on 15 here. There we go, stage 15 complete. Let's switch back to Selenia here and move on to stage 16. There we go, stage 16 complete. Moving on to stage 17, where I think we can probably actually start to auto, but without food. So let's give this a shot here. Where is she at? There she is. Set her up. First choice. Save. And let's let it rumble. In fact, we'll just let it go from full auto right on the start here. Get through a rotation here. Looks like we're going to be good. Boom. All right, we will see you to the end. Alrighty, stage 17 complete. I think we can do stage 18 and probably stage 19 here on auto without food. So we will see. Okay, stage 18 complete. Moving on to stage 19. Alright, stage 19 complete. Moving on to 20, where what I think we're going to do, may not really need it just yet, but we're going to go ahead. Let's put our food champs back in. Way down here, way down, Sally. Don't worry, I won't sing to y'all. Alright, Selena, there we go. Go ahead and save that. And we should be hopefully good to rock and roll here. See you at the end. Alright, stage 20 down. Moving on to stage 21, where we need some more energy. Alright, stage 21 out of the way there. Moving on to stage 22. Alright, stage 22 complete. And moving on to stage 23. Alright, stage 23 completed. Moving on to stage 24. Okay, stage 24 out of the way. Final stage, here we come. There we go. Stage 25 complete. If you notice, right around the 415 mark, the last few stages has kind of been landing right in there. So that's not too bad with a Selenia and a Godseeker. And I got quite a bit running on the PC right now. So, but let's go back to the Bastion. And over here at the Bastion, we will look at recently used and recap here. So again, we have Godseeker and Regen and Immortal. You could go Regen and Defiant. And her total stats right now, 85,000 HP, 48, almost 4,900 defense, 181 speed is the minimum. And the rest of the stats are inconsequential. Skills, she is fully booked. Remember, she is a 5-star blessed Miracle Heal Godseeker. That's why we're allowed to go slower with her. As far as the masteries I chose, just came down the support tree. Make sure you get Spirit Haste. And then I just went ahead and took Elixir of Life. You don't want counterattack. These are about all you really need. You could come over here and get the resistance and then move to improve parry. Of course, you'd also want to get rejuvenation there because Shadow Heal is 6% every time the boss heals, and he heals on the A2 ability. If you have any destroyed max HP, he will heal a certain amount. I don't know what the amount is, but if you have none, he will get 0 heal, but you will still get 6% heal when he does his A2. So that is definitely helpful there. So the rest of these masteries, you just don't really need. So that is Godseeker with the 5-star blessing. She is slower. Selenia we have seen before, but if you haven't, I just got her in accuracy. She's only level 50. We haven't even picked a blessing for her. Do not pick Phantom Touch. Do not pick Phantom Touch for Selenia here if you are going to use her. Literally, not even 22,000 HP, 1,400 defense is crap, 186. If you're going to use this slow Godseeker with the 5-star blessing, the minimum speed for your DPS is 179. You need to be that or higher. And then she just needs accuracy. The great thing about her is you don't need to push her up to 500 accuracy because her A3 skill, which is fully booked, gives you a 75, when fully booked, chance of landing HP burn. She's doing 3 hits and she's giving herself 25% increased accuracy. 25% of 400 is 100. That pushes to 500. Another 25% of 20 is like 4. So you're going to be at like 524 accuracy, somewhere in there. That is enough to be landing these. The only thing I got to worry about is that 3% and or somehow you hit that 25% all 3 times. Not going to happen very, very often. 0 masteries. If you're going to do something like that, you might want to extend this. But Sniper might be about the only thing of worthwhile. And maybe, if you need a little more accuracy. But if you can get it, then fine and dandy, you don't need it. Now, we did unfortunately need Walking Tomb Drang in that crossover stage. He is in Regen and Immortal. Again, he's got survivability stats, so 86,000 HP, 3,500 defense there. We slowly pushed him from 173 to 179 to confirm what the minimum speed was when you're going with a very slow Godseeker there. He doesn't need accuracy or anything. Now, you could use him, but you'd want him to become suicide in this. These are designed to have suicide DPSs. Again, he's fully booked. You got to set the priority for him and Selenia there. They won't automatically go to their HP burn. I don't know why. Here's the masteries I chose, but I would redo them, give him more defense, all this, give him some shadow heal, drop the counterattack off. You don't need accuracy, you might go health. You don't even need to run them to full masteries if this is all the only place you're going to use them. So those 3 champions, and then of course, we threw in food there. Stage 20? I don't know if we quite needed it at 20, but why take the chance? You're not gaining that much more speed, so if she's a little bit Godseeker's a little bit faster, no big deal. All right, since this is number 5 out of the 5 in the series, let's kind of do a recap. So, the first 2 were partially booked Godseekers. You can use Suicide Champions with partially booked Godseekers. The third one was the fully booked Godseeker, and if you're going to manual it, you can use a Suicide to a point, but when you get to the end there, you're going to have just a beefy DPS as your Godseeker. So that makes it a little more difficult, but it's not impossible. It can be done. And there were some close calls in there as well. And then the fourth one, well, a 3-star Miracle Heal Blessed Godseeker. It could do it, but Ninja's about the only one you can do it with. It failed with Drang, it failed with Selenia. They are not killing the boss fast enough, and he's depleting Godseeker's HP there too fast, and it's just going to fail. So without Ninja, there's just too many failures built in to make that viable. So what you would have to do is just like we did with the fully booked Godseeker, because this one's fully booked. You just treat her as a fully booked, and you have a beefy DPS, and it actually help it because you're going to get better cleanse off of that destroyed max P with a 1 or a 3-star Miracle Heal. And then finally here, of course, we came to the 5-star Miracle Heal. We can slow her down. Real quick, going back, so it did, it worked, but not so well with the 3/4-star Miracle Heal. So I would bump her speed again up. You're gonna have to run her at 270 plus. So just treat it as that. And then once you get to 5-star, you can most definitely drop her down to a minimum of 181 speed, and then you can run the gauntlet there. Again, at some point you're going to need a beefy DPS, even if it's just for one get-go. So if you're wanting to work through this, maybe next rotation when hopefully they'll do free gear cleanse for a week there on when Curse City starts anew, and that's when you can just like swap out the gear or whatnot, and then it won't cost you anything to do that. Run through, because the whole point is once you get to 25, then you set it and forget it, and you just you run it, but you got to get there. So hopefully you enjoyed the series there. I appreciate your patience, especially if you sit there and watched all of them. Hit that like button if you liked it. And what I really want are some comments. So I'm going to end this here. But if I get some comments saying, hey, let's see Godseeker with some various other versions of DPS, and let's see who's the best or whatever, we will do that. I'm going to stick with my 5-star, but the requirements for where you sit as far as how your books are and how your blessings are. Hopefully those options are clear, but if you want to see various DPSs there and how they might work overall, let me know, and I will do a bonus video. It probably won't come out until that free regear. I can do a few here or there, but it still wouldn't get released till then. I haven't really tried Newt real hard there. Crisium might be as well, but yeah, if you kind of want to see me do that, just leave me a comment. I rarely ever ask for stuff like that, but if you're interested, let me know, and I will attempt to do that once the next free regearing is. Anyway, hopefully all of this was helpful. Hopefully now out of one of the 5 scenarios, what's going to work best for you. And yes, you can build and go from stage 1 up as long as you can hit the requirements. Now, I apologize I didn't sit there and figure out what the minimums were, but at least you kind of got an idea there of what they are. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.